The space station floated in the dark silence of space, its metal skin glowing under distant stars. Inside, the corridors were quiet, filled only with the soft hum of machines. The human doctor, Dr. Elias Ward, walked quickly through the sterile halls, his mind heavy. He had seen many wounded beings during his career, but tonight was different. Tonight, a case would test not only his skills, but also his heart. The medical bay doors slid open. 2 alien guards rushed inside, carrying a fragile figure in their arms. Blood dripped onto the silver floor, staining it with bright green. The alien girl they carried was barely conscious, her body trembling from pain. Her large, silver eyes half closed, her chest rising and falling with difficulty. Her legs were torn apart. Destroyed by an explosion from a mining accident. "Save her," one of the guards begged, his voice shaking. "She is important to our people." Dr. Ward looked at the girl, his hands tightening. He had seconds to decide. If he hesitated, she would die. He ordered the nurses to prepare the room. Lights blazed down on the operating table as the girl was laid flat. The air smelled of metal and blood. The machines beeped in rhythm with her weak heartbeat. For a moment, Dr. Ward froze, staring at her broken legs. They were beyond repair. He knew what must be done, but he also knew what it would cost him. "She won't survive if I don't act now," he whispered to himself. His voice was low, but filled with resolve. He grabbed the surgical tools, his fingers steady even though his heart raced. The operation began. The room was filled with sharp sounds of blades, suction, and machines. Green blood spilled as Dr. Ward worked. His eyes stayed focused, his jaw tight. Every cut felt like a heavy weight pressing against his chest. He was not just cutting flesh. He was cutting away a part of her life. Hours passed like minutes. Finally, the bleeding slowed. The girl's breathing steadied. Her body was saved, but her legs were gone. Dr. Ward stepped back, his gloves stained, his shoulders heavy with exhaustion. He looked at the girl, her face pale but peaceful. For now she lived, but peace would not last. When the alien girl woke, the sterile light of the bay blinded her. She tried to move, but her body felt strange. Her eyes widened in terror as she looked down. The space where her legs should have been was empty, wrapped in white bandages. Her body ended at the thighs. She screamed, a sound filled with pain and betrayal. "You took them!" She cried in her broken human tongue. Her voice cracked, but her anger was clear. "You took my legs!" Dr. Ward stepped forward, his hands raised, his voice calm but firm. "I had no choice. If I had not removed them, you would have died." But she shook her head violently, tears streaming down her cheeks. To her, his words were meaningless. All she saw was a human who had stolen a part of her body. The guards outside rushed in, their eyes full of suspicion. One of them growled, "What have you done, human?" "She was a daughter of our kin, and now she is broken." Dr. Ward clenched his fists. "I saved her life, you brought her to me dying, and now she breathes. If you cannot see that, then you are blind." But his words did not calm them. Instead, the guards exchanged dark looks, whispers spreading through the corridors like wildfire. The alien girl lay back, her body trembling. Her mind was torn between pain and confusion. Deep inside her chest, her heart beat fast. But there was something else. A strange warmth spread through her body, something she could not understand. Dr. Ward stayed by her side, checking her monitors. He saw the signs of life in her, but also something unusual. Her body was reacting strangely, as if fighting and changing at the same time. He made notes quietly, unsure of what he was witnessing. The alien girl closed her eyes, whispering in her own tongue words no one could understand. Her people believed she had been cursed, that humans brought nothing but destruction. Yet a part of her, hidden deep, remembered his gentle hands, the way he worked tirelessly to save her. Even in her pain, she could not erase the image of his eyes full of determination, not cruelty. The silence of the medical bay grew heavy. The machines hummed softly. The doctor stood over her, knowing the hardest battles had not yet begun. He had saved her life, but at what cost? And what secret had awoken in her body during the operation? Neither of them knew, but fate had already begun its quiet work. The girl's breathing steadied, but her thoughts were filled with fire. She had lost her legs, but she had not lost her spirit. In her chest, something new stirred, a secret that would one day shake both human and alien worlds. And so, in the quiet of the space station, under the cold watch of distant stars, a story began, a story of pain, survival, and an impossible bond yet to be revealed. Asterisk, the alien girl lay in the dim light of the medical bay, her body weak but her mind burning with anger. Around her, the soft hum of machines filled the silence. Yet the silence was not empty. Beyond the walls, whispers had begun to spread, whispers sharp as knives. The guards who had carried her in spoke in hushed tones. Their voices carried suspicion and fear. The human doctor cut her, one murmured. He did not save her. He punished her, another answered. It is their way. Humans break what they do not understand, doctor. Ward could hear the rumors drifting through the corridors like smoke. They reached every corner of the station, staining his name. He tried to ignore them, focusing on his patient. Yet every time he looked at her pale face, her bandaged body, he saw only distrust in her silver eyes. She would not look at him. When he entered the room, she turned her face away. When he spoke, she stayed silent. Her silence was heavier than screams. It told him that no matter what he said, she would not believe. But the human doctor was not the only one troubled. The alien girl herself began to notice strange changes inside her body. At night, when the station lights dimmed, she could feel something stirring deep within her chest. Her pulse beat stronger than before. Her breath came with a warmth she could not explain. It frightened her, though she told no one. The whispers outside grew louder. Nurses exchanged nervous looks. Patients turned their faces as Dr. Ward passed. The alien spoke of curses, of dark experiments, of humans trying to reshape life. The more he tried to defend himself, the more their suspicions grew. One evening, as the alien girl drifted between sleep and waking, she overheard two voices outside her room. They say he took her legs for power, one hissed. That he wants to build weapons with her blood, the other whispered back. If it is true, then she carries shame. She carries human corruption now. The girl's heart pounded. She bit her lip, tears stinging her eyes. She did not understand the doctor's tools, his strange glowing screens, or his words of science. All she knew was pain, and the emptiness where her legs once were. To her, the whispers seemed true, but something else stirred in her thoughts. When she closed her eyes, she remembered the operation. She remembered the human's hands, steady and strong. She remembered his voice, low but calm, saying again and again, "Hold on, don't let go." Those memories clashed with the whispers, leaving her lost in confusion. Dr. Ward saw her fear. He saw her flinch when he touched the monitors. He heard the rumors himself but could not fight them all. The council of her people would soon demand answers. He knew it, yet he stayed, guarding her, studying the strange readings on the machines that monitored her body. Then something happened. One night as the station slept, the girl awoke with a sharp gasp. Clutching her chest, she felt a rhythm inside her, a beating that was not her own. Her eyes widened in terror. She pressed her trembling hand against her stomach and froze. Dr. Ward rushed in at the sound of alarms. His eyes narrowed as he scanned the data. What he saw made his blood run cold. Her cells were changing, dividing. Something new forming inside her. He turned to her, his voice steady but his heart racing. "You are carrying life," he said. A child. Her silver eyes filled with disbelief. Her lips parted but no words came. She shook her head, whispering, "No. Impossible." Yet deep inside, she already felt it. The truth she could not deny outside. The whispers of suspicion would soon turn to shouts. And neither she nor the doctor realized that the secret inside her body would ignite a storm that could burn both human and alien worlds. The alien girl sat upright on the medical bed, her hands trembling against her stomach. The air inside the ward felt heavy, as if the walls themselves knew her secret. The heartbeat she felt was faint but real, steady like the soft drums of a distant storm. It was not her own doctor. Ward stood across the room, his eyes locked on the monitors. The glowing screen showed waves and pulses that no medical record had ever displayed before. He rubbed his forehead, his heart pounding. His voice came low and firm. "You are carrying a child." The girl shook her head in disbelief, her silver eyes wide. "I cannot," she whispered. "My kind does not breed this way, and not with humans." Her words broke with fear, yet her body told her the truth. Ward stepped closer, his face pale. "And yet it is happening," he said. "This child is not like any other. It carries parts of you. And parts of me." Her lips parted, but no words came. Her mind flooded with memories of the operation, the sterile light, the sharp tools, his steady hands working to save her life. Had something happened in that moment, something beyond science, something that bound them together, outside the room. Whispers still spread like a plague. They said the human had cursed her. They said she carried corruption in her blood. The guards who once demanded her life be saved now avoided the ward. Their eyes filled with fear whenever they passed. The girl clutched her chest, her body trembling. "If this is true," she said softly, "then I am doomed. My people will never accept me. They will call me broken." "But doctor," Ward's voice turned sharp, his jaw set. "You are not broken," he said. "You are stronger than anyone. You survived when no one else would. And now you carry something the universe has never seen before." His words struck her, not like a weapon, but like a spark. For the first time since she woke after the operation, she looked at him fully. Her eyes searched his face, seeing not cruelty, but something else. A strange kind of determination, a strange kind of care. Nights on the station grew restless. The girl often lay awake, her hand pressed against her stomach. Sometimes she thought she could hear the faint echo of 2 heartbeats inside her. It frightened her, yet it also gave her a strength she did not understand. She was no longer only herself. The machines continued to show impossible results. Her blood carried signals that merged with human patterns. Her cells fought to adapt, and yet the child inside her grew stronger each day. Dr. Ward filled pages with notes, but even his training could not explain it. Science had no name for what was happening. One night, when the hum of the station was soft and the ward was empty, the alien girl whispered into the silence, "What kind of child will it be?" Her voice shook, filled with both fear and wonder. Doctor Ward did not answer right away. He looked out the small window at the endless stars, his chest heavy. Finally he said, "It will be a child of 2 worlds, and perhaps a bridge between them." Her breath caught. Her people had always feared humans. They called them destroyers, cold and greedy. But this doctor had not destroyed her. He had saved her, and now, somehow, he had given her a future her people would never accept. Beyond the walls of the ward, the whispers were turning into something darker. The council of her kin demanded to see her, demanded to judge the truth for themselves. They were coming. The alien girl pressed her hands tightly against her stomach, her silver eyes shining with tears. She whispered to herself, "I lost my legs, but I gained something else, something greater." And in the dim light, Dr. Ward watched her, knowing the storm was coming, knowing that soon, both their lives would change forever. The space station's halls were no longer quiet. Word had spread far beyond the ward, and the whispers had grown into a storm. The alien council had arrived, their presence heavy as iron. They came cloaked in dark robes, their silver eyes burning with suspicion. Dr. Ward stood in the medical bay, his face pale, but his stance firm. He knew this moment would come. The alien girl sat upright on the bed, her hands resting against her stomach, her body still weak, but her spirit caught between fear and defiance. The doors slid open with a hiss. 5 council members entered, their steps slow but heavy. Behind them, guards filled the room. Their eyes locked on the human doctor. One of the council elders spoke, his voice sharp like a blade. "You claim to have saved her, yet she lies broken, legless, and carrying something unnatural." Gasps rippled through the guards. The alien girl lowered her head, shame burning inside her. The word, unnatural, cut deep, deeper than any wound. She felt the weight of her people's judgment pressing against her chest. "Doctor," Ward stepped forward, his voice steady. "She would have died if I had not acted. I took no joy in cutting away her legs. I did it to preserve her life. And the life she now carries is no curse. It is proof of survival." The council elder's silver eyes narrowed. "A life that should not exist," he spat. "A child born of human corruption and alien blood. You have twisted nature, Doctor. You have broken sacred law." The alien girl clenched her fists. Her heart raced. Her body trembled as the voices of the council echoed in her mind. They spoke as if she were nothing more than a vessel, a mistake. Yet inside her she felt the faint rhythm of the child. A rhythm that gave her courage. Another council member leaned closer, his voice low but venomous. "This child must be destroyed before it brings disaster to us all." Her breath caught. Her eyes widened in horror. She whispered, "Destroyed." Her trembling hands moved protectively over her stomach. For the first time since the operation, she raised her voice in defiance. "No." The room froze. The council stared at her, shocked by her sudden strength. Even Dr. Ward turned his head, his eyes locking onto hers. In her silver gaze he saw fire, not fear, but something stronger. "I may have lost my legs," she said, her voice trembling but unbroken. "But I will not lose this child. It is mine, it is life, and I will protect it." The council erupted in shouts, their voices clashing like thunder. Some demanded the human's execution. Others called for the girl to be cast out. The guards shifted nervously, unsure of whom to obey. Dr. Ward moved to her side. Standing between her and the council, his voice rose, sharp and unyielding. "If you touch her, you will go through me. She is not cursed, she is not broken. She is the beginning of something greater than all of us." The council elder's voice thundered. "You dare defy us, human. You play with things you cannot understand." Ward's eyes burned with defiance. "Maybe I do not understand," he admitted, "but I know this. Life in any form deserves to live." The alien girl's heart pounded as she looked at him. For the first time, she saw not just a doctor, not just a human, but someone willing to risk everything for her. And in that moment, she felt less alone. The council finally turned, their robes sweeping the floor as they left, their parting words heavy with threat. "The council will not allow this abomination to continue. Prepare yourself, Doctor, for judgment is coming." The doors closed, leaving only silence. The alien girl's breath came fast, her chest rising and falling as tears filled her eyes. She whispered softly, "They will come for me, Doctor." Ward placed his hand gently on her shoulder, his voice calm but filled with steel. "Then we will face them together." And in the shadows of the station, while stars burned cold outside, a dangerous truth became clear. The girl and her child were no longer just a secret, they were a target. And war was stirring in the whispers of the council. The station no longer felt like a place of healing. It felt like a cage. Cold eyes followed the human doctor wherever he walked. Whispers turned into threats. Shadows stretched long in the corridors, carrying fear with them. The alien girl sat by the window of the ward, her silver eyes fixed on the endless stars. Her hands rested protectively on her stomach. She could feel the faint rhythm of the child, stronger now. She whispered softly to herself, "You are alive and I will not let them take you, Doctor." Ward watched her from across the room, his notes scattered across the desk. He had studied the readings again and again. Each result was the same. The child was growing, adapting, stronger than either human or alien alone. It was something entirely new, but not everyone saw it as life. Some saw it as power in the lower Decks of the station, voices gathered in secret. Some aliens spoke of using the child as a weapon. A being with the strength of two species could change the balance of the galaxy. Others demanded its destruction, fearing it would bring only chaos. The rebellion began in whispers, but soon it grew teeth. Guards once loyal to the council began to split. Some wanted the child hidden. Others wanted the doctor dead. The station trembled with tension, ready to break at any moment. One night, as the ward lay silent, Dr. Ward awoke to the sound of footsteps outside. He moved quickly, pulling the girl into the corner. The doors slid open and three shadowed figures entered. Their weapons glimmered under the faint light. "There," one hissed, pointing at her. "Take her. The council wants the child." The girl's eyes widened in terror. Her body shook as she clung to Ward's arm. For a moment, the human doctor hesitated. Then his jaw tightened. He stepped in front of her, blocking the intruders. His voice cut through the silence. "You will not touch her," the intruders sneered. "You cannot protect her forever, human. She belongs to us now." Ward's heart raced. He had no weapon, only his resolve. He spread his arms wide, shielding her. "She belongs to no one," he said firmly. "Not the council, not you, not me. She belongs only to herself." Before they could strike, alarms blared through the station. The intruders cursed and fled into the shadows, but their words lingered. A warning of what was coming. The girl's breathing was heavy, tears slipping down her pale cheeks. "They will never stop," she whispered. "They will hunt me. They will hunt us. Until we are gone." Ward knelt before her, his eyes steady. "Then we will fight. Not with anger, but with truth. They fear what they do not understand. They fear the child, because it is change. But change is not always death. Sometimes it is the beginning of life." Her gaze locked on his. In that moment she saw no weakness in him, only strength. And for the first time, she felt the shadows of fear inside her begin to shift, replaced by something else, something fierce. Outside the ward, rebellion grew louder. Fires sparked in the lower decks, voices clashed in the halls. The council tightened its grip. But cracks were forming. The station was no longer united, it was breaking apart. The girl pressed her hands against her stomach once more, feeling the faint heartbeat of her child. Her voice was a whisper, but it carried a promise. "They will not take you. No matter the cost, I will protect you." And in the quiet corner of the ward, Dr. Ward listened to her words, his chest heavy but his resolve burning stronger than ever. He knew they stood on the edge of something far greater than themselves. In the shadows of the rebellion, hope and danger had become the same thing, and soon the station would decide whether to kill the child or follow it. The station shook with unrest. Fires burned in the lower decks. Shouts echoed through the halls. The council tightened its grip, but their control was slipping. Factions rose against them, each one whispering about the child that should not exist. In the quiet of the ward, the alien girl sat on the bed, her body wrapped in white cloth. Her silver eyes glowed with exhaustion, but inside them a fire burned. She could feel the child's heartbeat now, strong and certain, like a drum guiding her through the storm. Dr. Ward stood nearby, his hands covered in ink from endless notes. His face was pale from sleepless nights. He had fought every day to protect her, yet he knew words alone could not shield her forever. The council would come again, and this time, they would not send whispers, they would send death. The girl lowered her gaze to the space where her legs once were. For so long she had seen only loss, only weakness. Her people called her broken, a cripple. But as she touched her bandaged thighs, she felt something different now. She was still alive. She had endured what no one thought possible. And within her grew life itself. "They will come for me again," she whispered, her voice trembling. "And when they do, I must decide. If I choose them, they will destroy the child. If I choose you, I will lose my people forever." Ward moved closer, his eyes steady. "You are not broken," he said softly. "Do not let them decide your worth. This choice is yours alone, not theirs, not mine. Her breath caught, his words cut deep, sharp but true. For the first time, she realized that the child's life was tied not only to fate, but to her will, her choice that night, as the station dimmed into shadow. She dreamed, in her dream, she stood tall once more, not with legs of flesh but with legs of light, strong and unshakable. She carried the child in her arms as her people turned away, yet the stars above bent closer. As if to guide her, she awoke with tears in her eyes, her chest heavy, her body trembling. She whispered into the darkness, "I am not broken, I am chosen." The next day, the council returned, their robes sweeping the floor, their silver eyes burning with cold fury. Guards filled the ward, weapons drawn. The leader spoke, his voice loud. "The child will be taken, and the human will be punished. It is our law." The girl raised her head slowly, her voice clear, though her body shook. "No," the council froze, shock rippled through the guards. The word hung heavy in the air, a blade sharper than any weapon. "I will not surrender," she said, her hands pressed to her stomach. "This child is mine, it is life, and I will not let you kill it. If that makes me an enemy to my people, then so be it." The council elder's eyes blazed with rage. "You defy us," he thundered. "You shame your bloodline. You betray your kind." But before the guards could move, Dr. Ward stepped forward, his body between her and their weapons. His voice rang out like steel. "If you harm her, you will have to kill me first, and if you kill me, then the galaxy will know your fear." The ward grew tense. The guards looked between their leaders and the human doctor, their hands trembled. The station itself seemed to hold its breath. The girl's voice broke the silence, soft but firm. "I lost my legs, but I gained my strength. You called me broken, but you were wrong. I am not broken. I am alive and I choose my child." Her words spread like fire, reaching the ears of rebels, guards, and even council members who doubted their leaders. For the first time, the council saw fear in their own ranks. The alien girl had made her choice, and with it, she had become more than a patient, more than a cripple. She had become a voice that could not be silenced. And in that moment, the path ahead was clear, a path of war, of survival, and of a bond between human and alien that no council could erase. The station burned with unrest. Alarms screamed through the metal halls. Shadows of fire flickered against the walls as rebellion tore through every deck. The alien council had lost control, and now the factions clashed openly, some demanding the child's death, others demanding its protection. Inside the ward, Dr. Ward stood with his back to the door, his shoulders tense. The alien girl sat upright, her hands resting protectively over her stomach. Her silver eyes glowed in the dim light, not with fear but with resolve. She knew the time had come. The doors slammed open. Guards stormed in, their weapons raised. Behind them stood the council elder, his robes torn but his voice still sharp. "End this now," he thundered. "Give us the child, or we will burn this station down with you inside it." Dr. Ward's voice rang out, steady and unbroken. "You fear what you do not understand. You fear the child because it is different. But difference is not death. It is life. It is the future." The alien girl lifted her head, her voice carrying like a flame in the silence. "You call me broken. You call this child a curse, but I see the truth. I see hope. This child will not be your shame. It will be your tomorrow." Her words struck the room like thunder. The guards hesitated, their eyes flickering with doubt. Some lowered their weapons. The rebellion outside grew louder, voices rising in support. The council elder roared in anger, but his power was slipping. With a sharp command, he lunged forward, raising his weapon toward her. But Dr. Ward moved first, his body shielded hers, his arms spread wide. "You will not touch her," he growled. His eyes burned with defiance. The room erupted in chaos. Rebels crashed through the opposite door. Clashes of steel and fire filled the air. The council elders screamed for order. But the station had already chosen its side. The sound of gunfire mixed with the cries of freedom. Amid the chaos, the alien girl's voice cut through like a blade. I lost my legs, but I did not lose my strength. I carry life and no force. In this galaxy will take it from me. The rebels surrounded her, shielding her from harm. Dr. Ward guided her through the smoke and fire. Every step he took was a vow. Every glance back at her was a promise. Together they pushed through the burning halls, the station tearing itself apart behind them. At last they reached the escape bay. Stars shone beyond the glass. Vast and endless. Dr. Ward activated the shuttle, his voice urgent but calm. We cannot go back. Not now, not ever, but we can begin again. The alien girl lowered herself into the seat, her hands never leaving her stomach. Her silver eyes filled with tears, but they were not tears of despair. They were tears of something new, something she had not felt since before the operation. Hope. As the shuttle engines roared to life, the council elder appeared one last time at the edge of the bay, his voice a curse. You cannot run forever. The galaxy will hunt you. The child will bring only ruin. But the alien girl met his gaze, her voice steady. No, this child will bring tomorrow. The shuttle blasted into the stars, leaving the burning station behind. Inside the small vessel, silence filled the air. The girl leaned back, her body weak but her spirit unbroken. She pressed her hands to her stomach and whispered, "You are not a curse, you are the future." Dr. Ward sat beside her, his tired eyes fixed on the stars ahead. For the first time in his life, he did not feel like a healer fighting to save lives. He felt like a protector of something greater, something that could reshape worlds. And so, in the endless dark of space, far from the council, far from whispers and judgment, a new story began. The story of a child born of two worlds, a child of tomorrow.